Lawn Care family, this is Darian coming to you this beautiful sunny day. It's winter, but it feels like spring. It's like 70 degrees, man. I couldn't ask for a better day. Want to come to you about some situation that took place that will encourage you to stick to your policy. That is the theme of this video. Stick to your policy. Let that be your foundation. Let that be what you stand on, because if you don't, somebody will knock you down and you will find yourself on the ground trying to figure out how you got there. We're leaving a property right now that we actually had to pretty much give them a free service because we didn't stick to the policy. The policy is that we accept credit card. There must be a credit card on file. The first payment went through and the work was done. Everything was great. Everybody was happy. Then he wanted an additional hour. So we came back the next day to give the additional hour. The credit card did not go through. So then therefore he said he would bring cash. Now, before any work is done, the policy is that there must be a credit card on file or there must be cash in hand before any work is done. So my guys and I, we pull up. I had a great conversation with him, man. He sounded so good on the phone, man. Just, you know, such great communicator. I just knew I could trust this guy. And now I'm not saying that this guy is some type of guy that was intentionally doing wrongdoing, but we both had two perspectives. He was looking at the 6 from one side, I was looking at a 9 from the other side, and so we both had a misunderstanding. So in that could have been avoided if I stuck to the policy. I have my guy out here, Mower, with me. You can see my son back there in the back. We all out here, and we pretty much blessed this guy with a free day of service. It was a tough negotiation. It had a bunch of emotion, up and down roller coasters, but we made it through, and we have learned the lesson. We have the solid foundation. The concrete is dry, it's smoothed out, it got the rigid in there from the broom sweeping, and we're not falling off this foundation no more. Matter of fact, we're sticking a foot in the cement, and we're gonna stand fast because you're not gonna push us. Even if we wanted to step off, our feet are stuck in the concrete. So we got that solid foundation. This is Darian, Quick Cutz Premium Lawn Care, Conyers, Georgia, signing out. Cut on, Lawn Care family, cut on.
What's up, fam? Just like my partner said, you need to stick to your policy. Know your worth and know your policy. So just to be clear, here's the situation happening. It was a customer who wanted a cleanup. Now the cleanup is one of those cleanups where when you look at it, you can't really tell how long it's gonna take. You couldn't. And I knew that the price that we was gonna quote him was gonna be quite a lot. So just so you know, we are $50 per man hour, and basically on this project, we was gonna use 3 guys. So at that point, we knew for 1 hour, it was gonna be $150. Well, the client really didn't want to pay more than $150, but you can obviously see how much work it is just by looking at this overall project. So at that point, one of our policies is that if a client wants a hourly type of job done and we know we can't give them a good estimate on how long it's going to take us to do a project, we pretty much ask them to be on site. And that's the policy. The guy actually is supposed to be on site at that particular point. We do a credit card policy, and you hear me talk about it all the time. So he did pay for the job in advance because he did not want to leave his actual credit card on file. So the thing is, we understood that it was going to be more time needed. Now, so when we show up and we saw the work, our policy is to let them know, hey, this is not going to be an hour worth of work. It's just too much work for it to be an hour worth of work. You got way more than that. But the guy was not there. He wasn't in place like he's supposed to. And my partner pretty much decided he was going to go ahead and do the hour worth of work without him being there. The guy pretty much told him what needed to be done, et cetera, et cetera. So that first hour, he did what he did, and he was done. Now, when the client got there, he wanted another hour. He said, hey, you know, you didn't get everything I wanted to get, but we already knew it was impossible to get everything in an hour, because this home definitely had been, it was years of leaves on the ground, whatnot. So at that point, he said, look, I want to do another day. So I want to do another day, and I want to do an hour. And I was like, cool. Now, I didn't see it the first time, but the policy is always to be honest with the client, to let them know what the expectations will be. Now, at this point, I understood that he had high expectations on getting that place looking spotless, and I hadn't seen the pictures of nothing at this point in time. So at this point, I instructed my business partner, hey, don't do any work if he's not there, and don't do any work if he hadn't paid, because we was having problems with his credit card for the second payment. So he said, hey, don't worry about it. I'll give you cash when I get there, and y'all get started. And you know what? Now, here's the thing. I really don't like taking cash. Matter of fact, I'm against taking cash altogether. Now, of course, I'm in a partnership. You know, my business partner was going to be there. So I said, all right, cool. You can give it to him. Now, at the end of the day, the next day, the guy's supposed to be in place. He was not in place again, second day. So at this point, my business partner took it upon himself to do the second hour. He told the guy, hey, this is what I'm going to do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But let me explain something to you. Whatever your vision is in your head is not the customer's vision in their head. Guarantee it is not the customer's vision in their head. Don't do it if they're very specific and cannot show you through a picture. Like, I do take pictures. Well, I asked the client to take the pictures, and I can pretty much roughly give them an estimate. Now, here's the thing. My partner showed up. The guy wasn't there. Here's the thing. We shouldn't have started because we didn't receive no payment. You don't do no work. That's what the credit card is for. It lets you know that payment is on file. And what's so good about Yardbook? Yardbook will let you know if someone puts an invalid credit card on file. And another thing, if I feel like the job is too big, I am going to process the card before we do the work. That means we're on site and we're about to do the work. I process it because ain't no way in the world I'm going to spend 3-4 hours doing nothing, then find out the payment didn't go through. Now, I'll live with, $50, $65, but not hundreds of dollars. Well, so my partner did it, and the guy showed up after the work was done. It was done, and he said he didn't like the work. But once again, it was so much work to be done. Where do you start? Well, make a long story short, we went back and forth on the policy. Darren, my business partner, broke the policy. So we took some of the ownership. We told him that, hey, come out the next day and we'll do 30 minutes for free. Well, it took us 2 days to get him to get out there on the next day because we was not going to do anything until we received our payment, the $125. I gave him a discount. Well, he got there, and while he was there, he was suggesting that he'll pay us after the work was done. And I told him, no, we're not doing anything else. We'll just eat it. We're not going to do anything else. He said, no, I want to pay you guys. And I was like, well, go ahead and pay us. I said, that's our policy in the way to get payment, a secure payment before services. And he said, well, what customers pay you before anything gets done? I said, that's the thing. That's the point of the credit card. I'm not asking you to pay me. You don't put the credit card on file. I can't process it. What's so great about it? If I did anything wrong, if I didn't live up to my obligation, you can call your credit card company, and you can appeal or you can object to the payment. But cash, they can say, well, I don't like it. And what you going to do? Ain't nothing you can do but walk away. So at that point, he did pay us. And then we continue with the remainder of the 30 minutes. And believe it or not, he felt like he felt like, hey, you know what? if y'all do it like this, that, and another, it could be done faster. And believe me, guys, I I don't mind customers giving me suggestions on things, but suggestions and actually doing the work is two totally different things. So at this point, he saw us do the work. He was there the whole time, and he saw that we wasn't loafing, we wasn't cheating, and that's the thing. In their heads, all that stuff can be done in an hour. You need to stick to your policy. Stick to your policy. If you don't have a policy, shame on you. You need to get one. Now, just so I can help myself out this year and my clients out this year on what my policies and procedures are, I created a tab on my website. It was called Frequently Asked Questions. And I added everything that you could think about that can go wrong. Like, say, for example, I get in your yard and I run over something that is unforeseen. Well, I'm not responsible for that. I let them know. The policy means you need to make sure that you either mark or identify or remove items that can be damaged in the yard that we cannot see. So that's on my frequently asked questions. That's my policy when it comes to me showing up and you trying to cancel on me like that happened last year. You try to cancel on me on the day I show up in your yard and you say you don't want no cut. That's okay. It's a $25 scheduling fee. I'm gonna go ahead and charge the card $25 and I'm gonna move on to my next destination. That is part of my frequently asked questions. So if you want any ideas or some of the things I came up with, please go to my website, Cutz, lawnservice.com. Click on the frequently asked questions. It's a slew of them, and I covered it all. If it's anything new, I'm going to share it with you. But hopefully, man, you'll understand the importance of this, because one of the things that's very difficult is you will lose money doing the manual work like cleanups, hedges, and you quote it wrong. You quote it wrong. Be sure you leave room for yourself by being honest and saying, I don't know how long this is going to take. I'm assuming between 3 and 4 hours. Or you could say, hey, if your budget is only $100, look, we can do this, 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 and that. You need to be in place. All right, man. Cut on, lawn care family. Cut on. I'm cutting out. Peace.